It's on now.
There you are.
Can you see me?
I just need you to raise.
I know.
Okay.
I will pop out into the sunshine. Where are you?
I'm in Toronto, so I need that sunshine.
All right. Well, I'm just going to make you hate me. I'm just going to
I
show
would
you.
never hate you. I'm jealous of you, but I would never hate you.
Well, be prepared to turn your jealousy into hatred.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's gorgeous. Wow.
Now, you see that fence there?
Yes.
That fence is our bedroom looks out over that way. So this is my morning get up view.
Oh, wow. That is absolutely stunning. Oh, okay. I'm leaving now. See ya.
Okay.
Okay. So after the pandemic, I hope you take visitors because this is where I'm going to stay when I come to New Zealand.
I'm sure my wife will be happy to arrange it.
Good. You can, you must have a guest house there or something. Come on.
Well, as a matter of fact, we do have a little guest house, but it's a little bit further away from here.
That's okay. I don't mind walking.
So you're in Toronto.
I'm in Toronto, which is funny because not too far from Buffalo, where you ended up shooting Bad Cupid. And I wanted to say, how does a nice guy from New Zealand end up in Buffalo, New York?
Well, the Bad Cupid was actually born in Britain, went out to Africa as a boy, spent some of his childhood in Wales, got educated in East Anglia, went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, became an actor, and then became a gypsy. And yeah. I worked in Toronto many times.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
And loved Toronto. Well, I love Canada.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that as I get older, I like people more and more. So I suppose that my affection for people often spreads to their countries.
Sure.
Though is that universally true? There are countries where I've been so ill that my affection for the people, I think, doesn't carry me through the...
Well, yeah, it's the experience for sure. You associate with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we did Indiana Raiders of the Lost Ark in Tunisia. I got Montezuma's Revenge.
Oh no.
So substantially. Actually, it might have just been cholera. It might have just been a case of cholera.
Oh my God.
I lost 22 pounds in 2 days.
Whoa.
Which is right on the verge of irreversible kidney failure.
Holy mackerel. Never knew that. Wow.
Yes, it was
not a good memory that you want to take with you. Yeah.
I remember Spielberg sort of saying, John, get down a bit lower, please. Give him a better eye line. And as I knelt down, as I sort of knelt down to give him a better eye line, I filled my jalaba in front of 300 people.
Holy mackerel!
And I did not care.
Yeah.
You've heard of that expression, tunnel vision. It really exists.
Yeah.
You have no peripheral vision.
Right.
Your temperature is high, and you can almost see words rolling down towards your eye and your head, and you can almost see the words.
Yeah.
And decode them and
wow.
try and extraordinary. I've never experienced it since. thank God.
Thank goodness. I was just going to say, yes. Wow. Wow. Well, I was going to ask about memories of Raiders, but we'll go back to that later because, listen, you've had such an amazing, amazing career. And I recently just spoke to your pal, Viggo Mortensen, last week. He's got a new film that he just finally directed, like after all these years, finally directed a film. I mean, there's nothing that man can't do. But I know that you guys last year, you reunited on Zoom with the cast, and you brought out your helmet. Holy mackerel! That must have been so much fun to see everybody again from that series.
It was wonderful. They are such a gifted bunch of people.
Yeah.
Viggo, of course, is the great outlier in a way. Viggo is a sort of actor that studio chiefs end up hating because he can't be bought.
Yes.
You know, he can make them a lot of money. He could have made the studio mega bucks of money if he'd conformed to what was expected of him. But Viggo can earn his keep as an international photographer. Viggo is not a bad poet.
No.
You remember do you remember that thing that he did with that's 300 he did with Michael Douglas and the pretty girl who did Shakespeare in Love. What's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. Remember that three-hander? What was it? It's basically about a husband who discovers that his wife is having an affair with a painter.
I'm blanking on the name of the movie too, but anyway, yeah.
Well, there's just one shot, I think, of the studio where the painter works. All those paintings are Viggo's.
Of course, yeah.
He is. I love Viggo. I think we disagreed very profoundly about something politically, but we were able to talk and to discuss it. And he listened, and I listened.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're talking politics, nobody actually really listens to what the other person's saying. You know, we come from our bastion, our conviction. Actually, in retrospect, I think he was right and I was wrong. In retrospect, I think that his antiness was probably the right thing to have because the outcome was not what I was expecting, and in the end, it was really about a waste of lives, I think.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, yeah, but I love Viggo.
Yeah.
And the rest.
Cast. You had a really good cast on that film. I remember way back in the day covering when those movies first came out. And, you know, I'm wondering because when you made the first one, did you realize that you guys were doing something special here? Like, do you realize that?
I did. I went out convinced that Peter Jackson had no idea what he was going to be doing.
Yeah.
And after checking him out and checking out the enthusiasm and the real talent that he'd put together to make the movie, I did, and then watching him direct, I did a 180-degree turn. And I was the one who got up at the first press conference and said, ladies and gentlemen of the press, revise your expectations upwards.
Wow.
I have 3 predictions to make. 1, this film is going to be bigger than the new Star Wars. At which point, Peter Jackson buried his head in his hands. And the laughs of disbelief were palpable.
Well, I don't know. I think you were right.
Yeah, and I went on to say, you know, these films are going to be the most important pictures of this next decade. And 20, 25 years later, when you look back on the important films that you've seen in your lifetime,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is going to be there.
Oh, no question. No question. I mean, and everybody who came out of that film, you know, you look at somebody like Andy Serkis, like, you know, seriously, I mean, that guy can do nothing wrong, you know, and then even the young kids that grew up to who they are today, like they're all pretty level-headed kids that grew into level-headed adults and great actors, you know, Orlando Bloom, I mean, everybody, Elijah Wood, I mean, goes on and on. You must have been, you know, you as a veteran actor working with these young ones to see how they turned out must be very gratifying too.
Yes, they were a lovely bunch. They were a lovely bunch, and you could see so much promise in them. One or two of them have not done as well as I had hoped. One I won't mention which one. One
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
okay. Yeah.
was really going to conquer the world because I think he has a magic that few other actors have.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those cruel things that it's, you know, actors love to think it's them that make the performance. The truth of the matter is the great part makes you.
Oh yeah.
And the job of the younger actor is to serve the scripts that they get so well that people say, actually there's something about this one. I
Mhm.
wonder whether he'd do for that. He's probably the cheapest we can get. Well, let's take a gamble on him.
Right.
And then you turn that seed corn into the harvest that will keep you
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
rest of your.
Amazing, amazing. You know, I want to ask you about Bad Cupid. I know we can talk about your career forever, but you know, this movie was so much fun. It was fun to watch you in this role. It was just fun. You must have had a great time playing this guy. And I love that car, by the way, that red car and your matching red sneakers. That was great.
Well, isn't he a great kind of, he's a great character. You know,
Completely.
and he's a unique. I like those characters that are absolutely one off.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope what I wanted to put in it is that rather dangerous and savage detachment that you sense that the Greek gods always have
Right.
towards men. You
Right.
know, yes, he's Cupid. Yes, he's matching people up.
Or tearing them apart.
Well, but you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you can imagine he's been doing it for thousands of years.
Yeah, that's true. It gets boring. You got to spice it up a bit. Yeah.
He's heard every damn sob story you can imagine.
Yeah.
All these people imagining that their own lives are significant, are utterly different from anybody else's. You know, that the great love of their life. Oh, God, don't get me going. Don't get me going. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The I mean, I think that at times he's as burdened in his work as Sisyphus is. You
Yeah.
know, he's obliged to push the rock of human marital happiness up the hill every damn day and start at the bottom again. You know, and you know the background I come from. I mean, my mother put it out to everybody. Let's face it. She could get away with it. She's still a looker, for God's sake. You know, Dad, well, in between wars, Dad, you know, what was the great thing that they say in the funny thing happened on the way to the front? It came to my country and he raped it and raped it and raped it. He raped thrice. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's Portuguese do that, you see.
Yeah.
Um,
Hilarious.
uh,
Wow. Oh yeah, but it was fun to see you in something like this, and you know, and also, I don't think I would ever in my life see somebody throw a toilet paper roll in your head. Seriously, I would have taken the job just for that, you know.
It's not exactly the most, powerful way of repelling somebody, is
No,
it?
but you know, it makes a point.
It makes a point. It makes a point.
No, it's a
Yep.
lot of fun. It's like the anti Valentine's Day movie, but I loved it. I really did love watching you in that. It really, you get a lot of stuff like this thrown at you. Like this is something different. I think. I don't know why. You know, it's fun to watch you in it.
I love it. I love. Sadly, most actors get asked to repeat the last successful performance.
Yeah.
That's what producers want. That was a formula for making money when he did that. If we got him in this film doing the same thing, surely that will make us money. Uh, it's the it's the it's the desperate entrepreneur's dream dream ticket hope, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um, and of course it never works, or seldom works. I mean, but the chance for an actor to just to do something different and fun,
Yeah.
um, and
Why not?
have a blast. This is not a perfect film, but I've got an idea. It'll generate just enough for us to be able to do another one and another one.
I would like to see, yeah, where he goes.
Wouldn't it, for instance, be interesting to have Cupid recruited desperately by agents of the British government to help Henry VIII find someone he can stick with?
I would like to see that. Yeah, I would.
To be in Renaissance Italy amongst the Borgias.
Yeah.
To be, fixing Henry V up with that sweet little French girl, knowing that the whole thing's going to fall apart eventually anyway.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
What the heck?
What the heck? Give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's in the stars. Make it happen.
It would be fun. I have to ask you about one of my absolute all-time favorite movies, Victor Victoria. To be able to have worked on that with Blake Edwards and Julie Andrews, I can't imagine that was probably one of the highlights of your career. I know you've had a lot, but that had to have been a joy, I would think.
James Garner, Robert
James Garner. Yeah.
I'd done a fair bit by that time. I put in about 10 or 11, 12 years on the stage. I'd done Victoria. I'd done I, Claudius, The Naked Civil Servant, Shogun, and but when I found myself on the set of Victor Victoria and looked around, it was one of those great moments in your career where you think, oh my God.
Yeah.
These guys are going to wipe the floor with me. If I can hold my own in this company, I might just have a chance. And of course, they were wonderful.
Yeah.
And you learn so much from your fellow actors if you're prepared to watch and learn. And the lessons may not come immediately.
Yeah.
But they're in there, and 10 years down the road, and you're stuck in a part. Suddenly, an image of Jim Garner being effortlessly easy, sliding into a position in a crowded sort of, one of those impossible corner big seats in a speakeasy or something like that.
Yeah.
Comes to mind, and you think it's easiness that I need at this moment. Um, yeah, what a lovely guy. And, you know, I love Julie.
Oh,
Julie is still not given the superstar status. I mean, she is a superstar.
yeah, but she
But
doesn't need that pat on the back. She knows it. You know,
yeah,
she knows it.
I know.
We all know it.
But,
She's amazing. Yeah,
but you know, she could be a star on her acting. She could be a star on her singing.
yeah,
She could be a star on her dancing. She is a star as a person.
hmm,
You know, I've never met anyone who had worked with Julie who doesn't say, "Oh, bloody fabulous, wonderful woman,"
yeah,
you know.
for sure.
Um, and in a world where we sort of grudgingly allow someone to have one talent. Yeah, they're pretty good. He's pretty good at mending cars, but he's hopeless as a person, you understand. You know, when we see someone like a Julie who actually could knock the socks off you, you know, in 3 or 4 other different realms.
Yeah,
It's sort of thing, well, you can't have that. You're not allowed to have that much talent. It must mean that she's actually really not absolutely top rate in any one of these things. So, you know, if you can only have that big a person, you know, so if she has 4 talents, it must mean that they're, you know, it is an
yeah,
absurd mind that we have.
yeah,
Julie is one of the great ornaments of the screen and the stage.
yeah,
Of her generation and of, you know, the last 50, 60 years.
for sure. Oh, it's just amazing. What do you think about, you know, when they keep, I mean, even Harrison Ford said that he would be open to another Raiders. What do you think? Like, is it a movie that we need to see more, or would you, you know, do you want to see more of them?
Well, isn't that an interesting question that you've asked? That's a very interesting question.
Because sometimes I I'm nostalgic, and sometimes I think you have to leave things alone, and you don't need to keep hashing them. I don't know. I With this one, I mean, Raiders is Raiders, but I don't know. What do you think?
I know this, that the young Steven Spielberg, who was at the height of his powers, it was like watching a young Mozart
For sure.
improvise when we did Raiders of the Lost Ark. And even The Last Crusade, that man is not the man that he became after doing Shoah and some of those real.
Yeah. Schindler's List. Yeah.
The films about real Nazism.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
They are different men. They are different men and different sensibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is right not to be directing this one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the genius.
No question. Yeah.
The genius is still there, but I don't think. I don't think that he can laugh at that period so easily anymore.
No. No, no.
So to that extent, to that extent, I think your question is a very pointed one and a very good one. Would I like to see another one? Well, I've seen them all. Every time I bump into Spielberg, I keep saying to him, now, Stephen, 1 and 3, fantastic films, really loved by everybody.
Yeah.
2 and 4, there's something missing in them now. Now, what could it possibly be?
I love it. Yeah.
Yes, I am a whore. I know.
You listen. You damn well deserve to be one. And I honestly could talk to you for another hour, but my Zoom is going to run out. So I want to be able to wrap it up properly. But John, it has been an absolute honor and pleasure to talk to you today. And really, it's just, you're so much fun. You're so full of life. And when this is over, you need to come back to Canada and shoot some more films here, okay?
Make it happen, young lady. Make it happen, and then come and interview us, and we'll put the world to rights.
I would love to, and I would listen. And I'm going to take you up on flying to New Zealand. It is, oh God, it's my bucket list. And I have to tell you that since this pandemic, I am going to make it a point to travel more. Life's too short. Life's too short.
Oh yes, life is too short. But your generation, I think, will live to be 140, 150.
I don't even know. I don't think I want to be that old, but you know what? I'll take 90s. I'll take the 90s, you know.
But you'll look like that. You'll be as fit as you are now.
You're very kind. You're very kind.
The science is already forming into place. The problem is whether society wants to have able, capable, healthy, old people around, because it's a huge societal change, because they'll want to retain their jobs. They'll be awfully good at their jobs. And the greasy pole of advancement for younger people will become a lot harder. And a lot slower.
It's a dilemma, absolutely. But I think we all get older. We should retire and travel and come to New Zealand. So there you go.
I don't ever want to retire.
No, not you. We don't want you to retire. But, you know, I might think about it. I'll take the travel bug and you can work. And I'll come.
All right, that's fair enough.
All
that's
right.
fair.
Thank you for your time today. Take care.
Thank you. And thank you for thinking kindly of our movie.
Oh, best of luck with it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.